Since I've made thousands of dollars on cryptocurrency and on stocks, it is painful for me to file tax returns in the US, and the process is so tedious. I hate US taxes currently. First of all, I'm very sorry that I'm a bit late to make this video, because the deadline to file your tax return for this year, or actually for 2020 in 2021, is around 17th May. You basically have 4 days to file your taxes or to get your tax return back for the income you made in 2020. Even if you didn't have any income as an international student on F1 visa, you still have to file at least the form 8843. So let's start with the process. Introduction about me once again, that I am an F1 student on OPT currently, but I have been filing tax returns since the last 4 years. So I came in 2016, so I filed for 2016 tax return in 2017, and then I kept on filing 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and now 2021. This is going to be my 5th year filing tax return as a non-resident alien on F1 visa, and my status currently is OPT. Now, why did I say I'm a non-resident alien? Because since I'm an international student, according to tax purposes, I'll be non-resident alien till the 5th year I file taxes. So that means if you are an international student, you are just in the same situation like me, and you will be filing the tax form called 1090 NR or 1090 NR Easy. So what you have to do is you have to use the website called Sprint Tax. They haven't sponsored the video because that's the easiest way. And if you don't want to pay like $35 to $70 on Sprint Tax, you can file on your own as well by using the 1040 NR Easy form. But it takes a lot of time to fill, and universities give you coupon to get discount on Sprint Tax. So let's say this is going to be my entire process step by step. I'll go to istart.gsu.edu or istart.georgiatech.edu, so whichever school you're from. So that's the website we use, and there I can request for a coupon for Sprint Tax, and they'll give me a coupon of $35 off. Now I can start my form on sprinttax.com, and it's a pretty simple, and it is for non-resident aliens, it is for international student. And even if you didn't have any income as an international student in last year or in previous years, you still have to file at least form 8843. So Sprint Tax will help you to auto generate, and then you can mail it to IRS so that they can have it. So if you want to get an H1B, or if you want to have a prominent status, or if you want to have a better future in the US, just make sure you file your taxes currently, and do not do any tax fraud. Because if you're hiding information, and if you are not paying the right amount of tax, or not sharing the right information with IRS, it is technically tax fraud, and it can lead to penalties, and your status in future might be a little bit insecure. So that's why do it correctly. And if you didn't do correctly so far, you have the option to correct it for the last 3 years. So for example, if you open Sprint Tax, then right now it shows me that I can correct my information from 2017 to 2020 in this year. So basically, if you didn't file your 8843 form or any form correctly last year, just correct it right now. You have the opportunity. As an introduction to tax return, let me give you a quick example. So let's say, let me look up for a tax calculator in the US. So let's say we open Smart Asset. So let's say you made $10,000 in your first year as an international student. Now, talking about your taxes, you will be paying around $0 federal taxes, interesting, and state tax will be $51. So when you will file your tax return, you will get most of the $51 back. Now let's move on with 20,000. So let's say you made $20,000 as an international student. So in your tax return, you will get $750, around $750, or most likely, I think close to $760 in your federal tax return, and in your state tax return, you'll get around $500 if you are in Atlanta. This is how much money you'll be getting back in your tax return. So this is really, really cool, because international students don't pay a lot of taxes. Anyways, now let's start with the process. So now let me walk you through my Sprint Tax account. So if you will take a look, so it starts with the residency details, F1 visa details, and then when you start your form, it asks you for your F1 visa information. So it tells you that if it is your 6th year as a non-resident alien, you should not use Sprint Tax, because you should be using 1040 form rather than 1040 NR, and you are free to use TurboTax. Moving on, even on IRS website, you can clearly see that if you are an F1 visa, if you are a non-resident, in other words, you have to file 1040 NR for the first 5 calendar year at least. So follow that correctly. With that step clear and out of the way, then they will ask you getting to know your questions, address, mailing address, permanent address, your address in India, which will be a permanent address, and so on and so forth. Then let's talk about money. And I have added my W2 form, 1099 div form, which has the dividend I made from stocks and cryptocurrency, etc. Then 1099 interest form. So I got a form from IRS through mail that this is the amount of money that I mailed through interest, and I filed that income as well. And other than that, I have actually 1099B, that is a brokerage form that I got from Robinhood and WeBull. So I'm actually trying to convert my entire Robinhood portfolio into WeBull. So if you invest in stocks, in any kind of stocks or even cryptocurrency, you can use WeBull. And if you will use my coupon code or my link in the description, you can get even 4 free stocks in the beginning. And I also started my student journey in investing through WeBull. So definitely try it, the link in the description below. And once you make your account, you will get two free stocks, and after investing first $100, you'll get another 2 free stocks. So don't miss that opportunity, and be ready to make thousands of dollars just like me when I was a student as well. So anyways, let's move on. Now the toughest part of filing tax return as an international student is if you made any selling or purchase of stocks, then it's a hassle. Like, let me show you a quick example. So this is my 1099B form that I got from Robinhood and WeBull, and it shows every single transaction of the stocks I bought, the stocks I sold, and you have to actually make one whole form for every stock. So let's say you sold and bought 100 stocks, that means you have to fill 100 forms. So that's why you might have to call SprintTax for help so that they can, do it like not automatically, because I tried to upload automatically as well, and they said SprintTax will reach you out the next day. They never reached me out because the problem was that they were really, really busy. But I'll say if you call them, they will ask you for $90 and they can summarize your 1099 brokerage, like all the transactions you did with cryptocurrency or with stocks, into your tax return, and so that you can file it. Otherwise, it's a hassle. You cannot do it online. And I just saw on Reddit that one person had a 52-page list of transactions he did in stocks and cryptocurrency, and it will take him years to type manually. So that's why talking to SprintTax can be useful. And then it asks you about your other expenses and about your college. And there's one interesting thing that I noticed is about tax treaty. So if you are from India or if you are an Indian citizen, there's a tax treaty that means you will not have to file taxes on $12,400 of income. So that is really, really cool. So coming back to SprintTax, after you give your college details, after you give your state taxes details about the states you live in the US and in which state you made X amount of money, or if you made $10,000 in California or $10,000 in Georgia, so you have to report all of that. Then they will automatically generate 8843 form, then the 1040 NR form for federal tax return and state tax return, and you have to mail them separately to different department. And after you mail it, you will be good to go and you will get your money back. So it is simple through SprintTax. So I'll recommend that if you have less time, do it through SprintTax. If you have a lot of time, or if you have a tax advisor with you or a CPA with you, then they can fill it for you and it'll be done as well. So either way works. But for most of the international students, they get coupon on SprintTax. So rather than paying $70, you pay $35. So it is not that expensive. But to pay $90 on a phone to handle all your cryptocurrencies, it is a big hassle. So oh god, it is tedious to file tax return if you did a lot of cryptocurrency transactions or stock transactions. They say it is legal, but once you file tax returns, you find out that the amount of time you spent filing your tax return is double the time you spent like making money on crypto, doing all the trading. So it is a big hassle once again. So that was the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.